Welcome to Trial by Wine. We take a closer look at crimes that highlight how fascinating humans can be. Schmitty, Swanee and Clarkey visit crimes and run them through their jury of three, debating both sides of the case to agree an appropriate, if totally fictitious, sentence. Please be advised, Trial by Wine may include explicit or disturbing content and will include drunken rambling. Listener discretion is advised.
Hang on.
All right!
I love that. All right.
Was
All
that
right.
All right.
How are we all today?
Tip top.
Yeah, good. We've had a big storm here in Melbourne, so a little bit, excited by that. And I bought some fish for the Nook, and I was a bit worried that they'd be able to swim away because everything flooded suddenly, but I think they're still there.
What sort of fish did you get?
Little comets, little sort of inch-long goldfish.
Yeah.
I was here last night and I was being eaten by mosquitoes, and then I checked it out today and I realised that my sister's lovely pond that she's put in was just full of mosquito larvae, and she's just created a breeding ground. So I cleaned it out and got some fish to keep that under control.
Aren't you going to make it into a grotto?
Oh, and
It's not a grotto.
Do some
It's
groping by the grotto.
I want her to have a grotto.
I think you'll find we have Nookie by the Nook. We don't grope by the grotto.
Oh, how fancy.
Or a squirt of Domestos works fine.
Yeah, Stuart's favourite thing with anything that grows mosquitoes is just put Domestos in it. Not so conducive
But that
to
will
animals
kill
who
the
might need
fish
to
now.
drink.
Yeah, I would put the fish in.
It's not a and, it's an either or. So don't
Right,
put the
good
fish
to
in,
know.
just put Domestos in, yes.
And Carla, how's your week been?
I don't know how to answer that, really. It's been a bit crazy, sort of the back end of the school year, so very boring for our listeners, but, crazy mum stuff. Kids finishing school and looking forward to holidays coming up. Long summer days.
And Clarkey,
nice.
tell us about your week.
Oh, goodness, there's a little bit to tell. So I turned 50 last week. We had some lovely
Hip, hip,
celebrations
hooray!
over the weekend, which is fantastic. I know, right? How good. Surprised I made it, actually. But anyway, here we are. It's kind of nice. I did get a message from someone this afternoon, though, saying, how's your week been? And I said, well, I haven't murdered anyone yet, so I think that's a good sign. And then it got me thinking that, what if I really did murder someone? What would happen then? And I think if I did, I would like it to be thrown open to the trial by wine jury rather than the real jury. And I get that I'll get nut
Would
punches and maybe some piranha acts and all that kind of thing. But I just feel like, the punishment might fit the crime. So there might be some empathy for the fact that maybe someone deserved it. Who knows?
You might get hung from a tree like Kathy's dog in Wuthering Heights. It's all sorts of things that could happen to you.
I know, right? What could go wrong? Anyway, it would be comical and probably make the news, so that's fun.
So what are you drinking, Clarkey?
Oh, glad you asked. So as part of the 50th celebrations, we had some lovely friends come up and stay with us. So that was Leanne and Colin, and they brought lots of wine, and they left some here with us because we didn't get through it all. And I might tell you that story in a sec. But so we're drinking the Lane Beginning Chardonnay from Adelaide Hills. Quite nice. We did get the timing mixed up for the podcast, so we did start drinking a little before now. And when I say a
Pre-game to
little,
touch?
we've nearly finished the first bottle. So anyway, happy days, should be fun. But on the weekend we have been meaning to visit this winery, and so we did it, and we bought lots of wine from them. And then I've been looking at Grays online a little bit for wine, and I decided I'd have a bid because they gave me a $40 voucher for my birthday. And I bid, and then I went, oh, maybe that's not the one. I'll bid on this one, and then, oh, maybe I'll bid on this one.
And
then I kind of went, I've got 3 bids going, and I should maybe try to cancel some, and I couldn't work out how to do that. So yes, I won them all.
3.
Which
What a
in
winner.
anyone else's mind mean I just bought them. But yes,
Correct.
I did feel like a winner. So they get delivered next week. So next week I'll
congratulations.
have dozens and dozens of wine to tell you all about.
Excellent. Cool. And Carla, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a sparkling soda water, but with a dash of vodka, just so I can keep
good for you.
replenished and refreshed after school pickup. After school pickup, yes. I've already picked the children
Exactly.
up.
So you have the,
Yes.
have the
I'm
little
just
DC and body before, and a little one
Yes,
afterwards.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Just to quench that thirst.
Absolutely. Just one that's like a bit thirsty. And what about you, Schmitty?
Well, I'm
Well.
so pleased you asked. So, yeah, as we all know, I on occasion make choices that may be a little bit bogan, but, you know, that's just the gal I am. And on this occasion, I am going to have a La Planchelerie. I've never looked at it before, so I can't say it.
Give it your best bogan voice.
La
That's
Planchelerie. That's it. La Planchelerie Rosé, which comes in a can. So,
nice.
for
Is it
your
a spritz?
pleasure, it says
Crack
lightly
one, Dal.
spritzed rosé.
Oh,
I'm going to crack
beautiful.
this one out for you. You ready?
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
There you go. Was that? Did that sound refreshing to you?
It did.
Do you have a
spritz.
straw that you
I'll
can
just-
use?
Pour it out of the can for you. I'm sure it's going to be terrible, but
It might
I'm a
not
little
be.
bit disappointed that you didn't stab
that
the
I
bottom
didn't drink
of
it
it
from the.
as a with a screwdriver, then open it and just shotgun the whole
What's that called?
can.
Shotgun it.
Yeah.
Look at your face. It looks delicious.
Oh,
She might be able to shotgun it by the end of the episode.
oh.
Schmitty,
It's
for next
sweet.
time. For next time, Pizzini
yes.
do a rosé and a Pinot Grigio spritzer in a can similar to that, which is quite nice.
Is it really sweet and yet strangely
no.
flavourless?
No,
good
it's
to
just
know.
spritz wine.
Pizzini is the bomb when it comes to these. So yeah, get on that.
Oh, and with a wonderful bouquet of methylated spirits.
Oh, yum.
All in the same can.
got it back
Normally you
up.
have to go to the shed to mix that up.
I know. How lucky am I? But
Did you
that's
buy
okay,
a single
because-
can or have you got a 6-pack to get through?
Oh, I bought
Probably-
12.
Probably a slab. Yeah.
She's got a case. I've got a case.
All right, so that's us drinking. Paul, what about you? Are you going to tell us a lovely story today?
Yeah, I am, but I just wanted to tell you, we've been having a little bit of fun of late with animal stories, and so I just thought I'd tell you what happened during the week here. And it continues the theme of alligators and crocodiles and things. So, according to 9 News, a dog has been attacked by a 3-metre saltwater crocodile in Darwin while out with his owner on their morning walk. Banjo, the 5-year-old Staffordshire Bull Terrier, looks a little like Buff, was at the Dripstone Cliffs Casuarina playing in knee-deep water on the beach at around 9 a.m. when he was bitten on the backside. He then bit the crocodile back and the crocodile fled.
That's
He just
exactly
went,
what Buff would have done.
Yeah, I've got your number.
Take that, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I see your thousands of years of evolution and I raise you a bite to the head.
Have you seen my disproportionately large penis? That's right. I'm going to have you.
Game on.
For those of you who
Sorry,
have never seen Buff,
Oh, you've made a bit of a leap there
Buff
for me.
has got Buff is a small. Tony's dog is a small black Staffordshire Terrier with a 5th leg.
Oh my
It is
god.
literally
Right.
his appendage is the size of one of his back legs. It is so disproportionately large. We laugh about it. It's quite ridiculous, actually.
And
proud
unless,
of it.
But yes, and as a result, his attitude is that of
Big swing and
7
dick.
bull mastiffs all in one. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Or-
he'd take on a 3-meter croc, whatever.
With my big
5-meter
swinging
croc.
dick.
That's my cup of tea.
I wonder if it functions like the thing from Alien where it just comes out and goes, ah, and the dick actually does the biting rather than just the head.
Yeah, cop that. No wonder the crocodile ran away if it saw that coming at him.
Exactly. Anyway,
Like, oh, this is all very unnatural.
yeah. So Banjo's owner said he was surprised his dog went for another swim after the attack. Like, I've just been bitten by a crocodile, but I just
Banjo's
need to
got
have
some
another
balls.
swim. Yeah, it's been a big day.
I just need to clean this wound.
Exactly.
Let myself give
yes.
a quick lick myself down a bit, and I'm straight back in the water. Don't worry about me. It's like Mick Fanning, the surfer who punched the shark, and he's straight back at it. He's the Mick Fanning of the dog world.
Yeah. Exactly right, yes. So he was then taken to the vet and treated for 3 bite marks on his back, but didn't need stitches. Now, I saw footage of this, and he's walking around with what looks like a wound that needs about 3 or 4 stitches. He's tough
That's
as.
Darwin for you.
And he's...
Not according to him. He's like, nah, mate, flesh wound.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
it's like that Monty
Scratch.
Python scene. It's a flesh wound. It's come back and fight like a man.
I've rinsed it out with salt water. What more do you want?
Come back here, I'll bite your leg off.
Exactly, yes. Anyway, so he's now resting at home and all good. So I just wanted to share that one with you, just to continue with that theme.
He's resting at home with a beer, no doubt.
Exactly. Yes, and the remote control.
Yeah. What's a Northern Territory beer? I can't quite place it. It's the beer we drink up here.
He'd
Darwin
have a
Stubby to
He'd
lead.
have a Darwin
Is it?
Stubby. No, Great
Darwin
Northern
Stubby, whatever that
Queensland.
is.
They have it's a Darwin Stubby is like a
leader.
flagon of beer kind of thing. It's a massive bottle that you'd need 2 hands to drink from. But
He's just at home
Banjo,
chilling
no
with
problem,
that.
1 hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Banjo doesn't have hands. That's how tough he is.
He just makes shit happen. He's now got a crocodile feeding him beer.
Seriously,
That's
if he had
right.
hands, he would have slapped him.
It's my bitch now. Come here, you.
Yeah, exactly right. Anyway, I just wanted to share that one. I'm going to start this story by thinking about some of the lovely stories that have happened during COVID. So, you know how there's been all these, happy stories of things that communities have done to pull together to support neighbours during tough times. And I'm thinking for me specifically, we had the cookie fairy up here who was going up and down the roads, dropping off cookies in the middle of the night so that people would wake up and they'd check their mail and they'd end up with a lovely surprise of cookies. Did you have anything like that you can recall during the COVID period? Any of those kind of good news stories?
I made jam and gave it to some neighbours because I had nothing else to do other than work. Yeah.
Yep, nice.
But I didn't do it in a covert fashion. Like I didn't sneak it into anything. I just knocked on their door and said, social distance, but here's some jam.
Yep, nice. Carla,
I
got a
don't
story
know
like
that WA
that?
qualifies.
Oh,
No, darling, because
yes.
WA...
They didn't have
We did
COVID.
we haven't done it yet. We're due next year, I think. So to date, we've only had sort of like COVID light. We haven't done a lockdown properly since last year, so no. There's no community spirit over here. We're just
Yeah.
waiting until the day comes. We're in a holding pattern.
There will be, of course, Carla. The
day will come.
Spirit when it happens.
I suspect that'll be the
yes.
year. That'll be our turn.
Yes, we read the book and we saw the movie. We just didn't actually live it. Right, no, well, so that's kind of good because this story is titled "The Soap Maker of Correggio," and it's a little bit similar, only
Only not.
Only
Yeah,
not.
go on.
Yes, exactly. The sources I've got are Wikipedia and All That's Interesting. This is, I think, the second time I've had All That's
I've
Interesting.
used
Oh, I found that.
and
I've
it's-
used
yeah,
that recently, yeah.
It does have some interesting stuff, so it's aptly named. Leonardo, this is going to be another of those ones. It's going to take me back to the Diana story where I can't really pronounce things as well as I should. But
Diana!
Leonardo Cianciulli was born in Montella Avellino in Italy. Now, already there's some conjecture about when she was born. She was born, according to Wikipedia, on the 18th of April in 1893. And according to another site, which also looks like Wikipedia, she was born on the 14th of April 1894. So a year difference in a couple of days. What's a birth date between friends anyway?
I don't suppose she was looking up the
Not great record keeping.
her Florida man meme. So I think she's good.
Yes, maybe we should do that one day. Anyway,
We'll do
while
that
she
for
was
her.
still a young girl, she attempted suicide twice. So I think, all good serial killers need to have a terrible upbringing, and Leonardo certainly has that. Anyway, in 1917...
Sorry, was that a little
she-
spoiler?
I was going to say spoiler alert.
Did you just throw a little spoiler out there?
Well, sorry, I mean, all good soap makers need a bad upbringing.
Right.
Yes. Yes, it was. Well picked up on. So in 1917, she married the registry office clerk, Raphael Pansardi. Her mother did not approve of the marriage, as she had planned her to marry another man. And she and Chianchuli, maybe, claimed that on this occasion her mother cursed them. In 1921, the couple moved to Pansardi's native town of Lauria Potenza, where it's probably Chianchuli, I think, was sentenced and imprisoned for fraud in 1927. Not sure what what the fraud was, but anyway. When she was released, the couple moved to Lacedonia Avellino. After their home was destroyed in the 1930 earthquake, they moved once more to Correggio, where Cianciulli opened a small shop. She was very popular and well respected within her neighbourhood.
Sorry, can you just
It
repeat
doesn't say that she sold soap there.
She's
but,
already been to jail and lived through an earthquake before she set the shop up. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And she's committed suicide twice.
Tried to.
Well, a tip.
Yeah.
Trooper.
Yep.
She is a bit
Yeah.
of a trooper, yeah.
Correct. Yes, that's a very good point. A very good distinction. So that's just the first little bit. She had 17 pregnancies during her marriage.
Oh.
Like, that's a lot. That is a lot.
Does this mean that... Oh, hang on.
But-
Did she have any children or 17 pregnancies?
Yeah. Are you going to tell us that they all miscarried, or what? How many made it, if any?
Wow, you guys are so on the ball. I'm so glad you are. So, she lost 3 of the children to miscarriage.
Is that all? Okay.
Right.
10 more died in their youth.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a bad success rate.
Yeah, that's not
Consequently, she was heavily protective of the 4 surviving children. Her fears were fueled by a warning she had received sometime earlier from a fortune teller who said she would marry and have children, but that all of the children would die young. So she's a little bit, predisposition to struggling. Anyway, between her suicide attempts, her mother's alleged curse, and her various miscarriages, Cianciulli realised that her life, to put it bluntly, sucked. So she went to see a fortune teller for some insight. The fortune teller, I don't know why she does this. She went and saw one before. Yeah. She's gone and seen another one. Fortune teller, a travelling Romani woman, did nothing to quell her fears. She said, "In your right hand, I see a prison. And in your left, a criminal asylum."
Well, she was probably
that's
right.
what-
She actually may have been a psychic. If she's Romany, she may have had some skill.
It's an excellent point you do make. Don't hold your breath, but we will get to that.
Oh, okay. All right, then.
So, dwelling on the mother's alleged curse and the Romani fortune teller's prediction, Leonardo Cianciulli became deeply superstitious. When her son Giuseppe told her in the late 1939 that he was going to join the Italian army, she turned to the one thing that she believed would keep him safe. If you were about to lose your son to a war, not necessarily going to die, just that's where he's going to go. He's just joining the army, but eventually go to war. What would you do to keep him safe?
Human sacrifice.
That is exactly what she did. So that scares me just a little bit. Tony,
Well,
you should listen very intently to this story.
She's deeply superstitious. She's probably a bit into the occult is where I was going with that, and therefore you have to sacrifice one life to keep another.
I was going to say, I didn't know how you'd made that leap. I see, right. Is that I was a bit of a leap for me, right?
That's how I made
Carla,
it. That's how
Carla, what were you going to say? Because I don't think that's a normal reaction to that.
I was thinking a couple of extra sessions with the personal trainer or the SAS people. I wasn't thinking of sacrificing somebody else, but, you know, each to their own. I hadn't made that leap.
I thought a massive spag bowl or something.
Yeah, it's like superstition. You know, maybe don't cross black cats. Get some crystals. I don't know, but human sacrifice and God.
All right. It's a fair leap, but I suppose she could have gone down the Munchausen's by proxy and like started just poisoning him a little bit, so he was a bit crook, so he couldn't go to war.
That would be okay too, I guess. Well, it would be better. Let's just say.
Or just cut his knees, you know, cut him behind the knees, so he cuts his tendons so he can't walk anymore, hobbles him. A bit of cobbling, bit of corn. She could have corn cobbled him, Paul.
Corn cobbled him, genius. Yes, eye removal with a teaspoon would work. Lots of ideas. Anyway, that's not what she did. She went with human sacrifice. Schmitty, just like you... It's unclear where Chianchuli got her idea to sacrifice humans in order to save her son from dying in World War II.
Oh, no, it's from the occult.
Yeah.
Totally from the occult, but okay.
Story says it's unclear, and I'm going to go with story
right.
because I'm shocked that you got that. I think really well done. You got the right answer, but there's some deep-rooted issues going on there that we might need to explore. Just to put a bit of context around that, so Roman Catholicism prevented in Italy during her time human sacrifice as an abomination before God.
Sorry,
additionally,
did the law
there's
not
no...
also...
They're so tough, those Roman Catholics. I can't believe they imposed that. You're not allowed to do human sacrifice. Oh, goodness me.
I know. I'm a Catholic, and I always think
if only
should change. Yeah. Like, that's right. We had Vatican II. Can we have Vatican III and bring in human sacrifice? I mean, come on, guys. But what about the law, Paul? I get the Roman Catholics were against it, but surely just commonplace law was against human sacrifice.
Yes. I think you're spot on, although I am concerned that you've said you've picked human sacrifice straight off the bat, and now you're advocating for Roman Catholicism to change to actually allowing human sacrifice.
That was sarcasm. It was a joke.
Yes,
Comedy.
but you're right. What about the law? I feel like she had thrown the law out already, so that wasn't where she was getting her guidance from. Additionally, there's no known Romani belief of superstition that embraces human sacrifice. So she's independently come up with this.
That's true.
It's a bit of a stretch. I don't imagine that Italy during that time was, you know, I don't suppose she was watching movies or anything where she's thinking, oh, I've seen a horror movie and they've had a sacrifice. It's a big leap.
But it's not, I really don't think it is, right?
Okay.
She's clearly not an educated person. I'm just going to take that leap. She's in a...
When I say clearly not, I mean I'm just going to assume she's not.
That's what I said. I took that leap. I'm going to assume she's not an educated person. Because the fact that she thinks her mother cursed her, you know, she goes to psychics for her guidance.
To be fair, you and I have both been to a fortune teller in Bath. Maybe I'll go back and check my notes.
Yeah, we did.
I'll go check my notes to see if I was supposed to sacrifice anybody.
And this is 100 years ago too.
Well, we went and saw about 100 years ago.
It was only 20 years ago. Exactly, yeah.
I've got the notes and the cassette tape. I found it not long ago.
Jeez, Paul. We're not that old. Come on.
Swanee, all you're pointing out to me is more parallels between Chianchuli and Schmitty.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying that also in common kind of storytelling in Europe, there are witches, there are fables, there are all sorts of things that relate to, you know, like Italy and Spain all had the Inquisition.
The Italians
about
and the
witches.
Spanish.
Yes, they also had Inquisitions. The Catholic Church was very anti-demonism but didn't say it didn't exist. So I know that we're talking about the turn of the century, but at the same time, I think that while your story tells me that there is nothing that would have led her to that, I think there's probably a whole bunch of things that in her youth did lead her to that.
Okay.
I'm going to
Just
go
in
with
her
your
psychology.
expertise in this matter because you saw human sacrifice coming well before anyone else did. So I bow to your greater
Maybe.
knowledge.
Maybe I'm just pretty good at criminal psychology. But anyway, go on.
And look out for the gypsies.
Maybe you're talking from experience. And if you're not, snaps for you for holding that inside instead of letting it go. Anyway, regardless of where she got her idea, she would go on to murder 3 women before she was caught. Do you want to hear about that? Or should we just end it
not
here?
really. Let's just sentence and go home. No, yes,
Thanks,
of course
everyone.
I want to hear it.
Yep. Good podcast. See you later. No.
Good chat.
So, yeah. Cianciulli's first victim was a local spinster woman named Faustina Setti. Inviting Setti to her home under the guise of setting her up with a husband, not her husband, in 1939, Cianciulli instructed her to write letters to her family members, telling them that she would be visiting the man abroad. She then drugged Setti with spiked wine before murdering her with an axe.
Oh.
Was it a sparkling
Second-
rosé out of a
this
can?
is the second story where someone's been murdered by an axe. Yeah. Yes. It
Look out,
was.
Tony.
Watch out, Tony. Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Next, she cut Setti into 9 pieces.
Ah.
Oh.
Are you all right, Schmitty? Are you on your second one?
Yeah, why not? In for a
How many?
Good.
How many standard drinks are those cans?
Hang on, I'll have a look.
Because they can be quite toxic.
2.4, so I'll be up to 5 soon. Yep, I need it for the
Jeepers
story.
creepers.
Anyway,
Happy with my decision so far. Yep.
Right, so she
tomorrow
covered it
morning
in-
might tell a different story,
oh,
but happy with
Headache
them so
City.
far.
Yeah. Have we got enough
Yeah.
paracetamol? 9 pieces.
Yes, she cut Setti into 9 pieces and gathered her blood into a basin. In her official statement after her arrest, she described the things she did next.
Did she do this at home?
Yeah. Where else would you do it?
I just wonder because I think that if I'd cut a body up and made a bit of a
you ask
mess,
what they
somebody
think?
might notice if I had somebody cut up in the basin. What are you making, Mum? Oh, nothing. Stew, soap. Oh, yeah.
Soap, yeah. Schmitty, if this was you, where would you do it? Because I feel like you'll be able to
In a
answer this more
bathtub.
clearly than my story
You do it in a
anyway.
bathtub.
In a bathtub?
You do it in a
Would
bathtub,
you-
or you do it outside, like undercover, so people can't look at you. But somewhere where you can easily hose that blood away, or where you have animals that you kill regularly, also. Because remember, she probably would have been, slaughtering chickens and stuff for food and stuff, so that you could excuse some of the blood.
You are all
Are you
over this
disturbed
shit.
yet,
This
Paul?
is you are scaring me. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So, anyway, the things she did next. I threw the pieces into a pot, added 7 kilos of caustic soda, which I'd bought to make soap, and stirred the whole mixture until the pieces dissolved in a thick, dark mush that I poured into several buckets and emptied in a nearby septic tank.
Yeah.
Because the soap bit didn't work as well as she would have liked on this occasion.
Well, it wouldn't work because she's got too much flesh involved. To make soap, it's basically rendering fat with the caustic soda. So she really, if the woman, and we don't know how fat the victim was.
Shut up,
So we
you're
don't have-
scaring me. Yes.
Just telling you that's how you make soap. But anyway, go on.
Please don't be upset
Don't be
if I
offended.
decline your next invite to wherever you invite me to. I'm just busy that weekend. So not to be perturbed by the fact that her soap didn't work, she got the blood in the basin, waited until it had coagulated, dried it in the oven, ground it and mixed it with flour, sugar, chocolate milk and eggs, as well as a bit of margarine, kneading all the ingredients together. I made lots of crunchy tea cakes and I served them to the ladies who came to visit. though Giuseppe and I also ate them.
There you go.
But what happened to all the bones?
What?
Did the caustic soda like dissolve the bones? Do you think that's not strong enough? Is it, Schmitty? In your experience,
I
Well,
don't-
she used 7
Yeah,
kilos.
yes.
in your
She used
experience,
7
Smitty,
kilos.
what would you do?
She used 7 kilos, I think you said, which is a lot
Is it?
of caustic soda.
Okay.
So, look, I haven't experimented on this, but if I had a go, I
Not
would
with
say,
bones. Everything else I have
That's
done.
right.
Bones.
Yeah. I would say that it may not break them down entirely, but enough that she could dispose of them. They might get brittle or something. She may have crushed them up. Don't know, but they could have ended up in the mush that went in the
Yeah.
septic tank. Yeah.
To quote Shirley Valentine, I give it the dog.
Usually, if you're trying to get rid of bones, you would put them in lime, not caustic soda, because that will disintegrate
Correct.
bone. Yeah, just so you know, just for future reference. Anyway,
That
moving on.
is how Schmitty would do it. Good to know. Yeah, so quite lovely. She's shared the tea cakes with her neighbours. It does make me wonder about the Indigo Valley Cookie Fairy, which you can Google online. It is a real thing.
Paul was on the news interview.
What they actually
were they really that
made
community minded?
them from.
You know what? They're just trying to get rid of.
That's
evidence.
right. Now we have the connection.
Yes.
How many neighbours moved away from the valley at the time?
It wasn't a very popular spot at the time. But that, to be fair, they did put ingredients labels on the cookies, which did not say coagulated blood.
Dried
which is
coagulated
good to
blood
know.
from my latest
James
victim.
allergens.
It contains
Made
allergens.
to have allergens.
Although I can't remember if it says
Made in a facility that
contains-
had bones and blood
And peanuts.
and peanuts.
may contain essence of Faustina Seti.
Oh, poor
Anyway.
Faustina.
This bit I don't really understand, but Cianciulli also reportedly took Seti's life savings of 30,000 Italian lira,
Aha.
the equivalent of $17.94 when adjusted for inflation. When adjusted for inflation, about $332. Like, it's,
Not really.
you'd barely
worth
be
it.
able to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to afford the tea to go with the tea cakes. Anyway, she'd received that as payment for setting Seti up with a husband, which, just like Jimmy, she didn't deliver on.
But she didn't steal that. Well, she fraudulently took her because instead of setting her up with her husband, she murdered her and ground her up and all the rest of it. But that woman was prepared to pay her in the first place. It's not like she didn't clear out her accounts or anything like that.
I don't think there was much to clear out by the sound of things. That was what she had.
Right.
That was it.
It was just before World War II too, so it would have been pretty hard times. Are you right there, Paul?
No, I've got
You need some
Are you
floss?
taking a
a
tooth out?
horrible... Oh, I got it. Yeah, no, I'm just removing some bone fragments that I must have in
you
my
were taking
tea cakes that I had earlier.
From a cookie. Oh, sorry.
Got a bit of
Sorry, no.
Oh, don't mind me.
It was
I
just
wanna
really
stop-
annoying me.
I've just punctured my
He's
gum.
literally extracting a tooth. I'm extracting a tooth while
Yes.
I'm talking to you.
Oh,
Right,
but
okay.
not one of his
Oh,
own.
Yes, no, I was...
Not one of his own.
Yeah,
Correct. Yeah, that's right. Yes. I hate it when I get a tooth in my tea cake.
Oh.
Somebody else has been eating this.
On the 5th of September 1940, Cianciulli found another victim named Francesca Suavi. As with Seti, Cianciulli convinced Suavi that she had organised a teaching job for her abroad and made her write letters to her friends detailing her trip. And, as she had with Seti, she fed her drugged wine, killed her with an axe, baked her into tea cakes, and stole her money. When you're on a good thing,
Yep.
Stick to it.
that's right. So that's her second victim. Her third victim,
So it's an MO now.
a modus operandi. I like what you've done with
Correct.
that. Yes, yes.
Do we know if her son's actually headed off to war yet? Is she doing this while he's gone to war, or is this in preparation? I mean, at what point is he ready to go off? How many have we got to kill before she sends
Well,
him
it's-
away? Or is he gone? Do we know?
It's no, we don't. Schmitty, do you know? Would you
No,
would
no,
you
I
keep
don't.
going?
Yeah, what is the normal count?
Whether he'd gone, or would
Yeah.
you?
Me personally,
What's your normal limit?
Yes.
What numbers do you work with?
I understand that one human sacrifice
one?
is meant to be
Sufficient.
it's one for one.
Sufficient.
Yeah,
Right.
it's totally sufficient. So she shouldn't have to
Yes.
continue. Yes. Yep.
But does that mean that he died, and so then she had to go for a second one to bring him back again? Is that how it works?
Oh no! Now you're in another.
No.
You're somewhere else now. Now you're talking about
Anatoly.
So if,
Sorry.
Anatoly.
yeah, Anatoly.
Now
Yes.
she's going to make a doll.
So if he died, you
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Now you're talking about necromancing. That's a completely different field of study.
Oh.
But so
Are
if
they
he
all
died,
blended?
you would just stop him from. You would just stop human sacrifices, or would you just keep going because it's kind of fun and your neighbours like the tea cakes?
Well, yeah, look, I think in her case, it was probably kind of fun and the neighbours liked the tea cakes, and $17 went a long way in 1939.
Yes, that's
She could
Yes,
stretch
good
that
point
out
you
for
make.
months. But
'Cause-
yes,
'cause
I
maybe-
personally wouldn't kill in the first place.
It's a good point though, Carla, because maybe we've moved on from human sacrifice and now she's just getting requests from her neighbours for more of those delicious
Tea
high in
cakes.
iron tea cakes. Yes.
It's like,
Goodness.
iron can upset your stomach, I believe, when you see all the ads on TV. Here's a way that you can take iron that won't upset your stomach. You're tolerant. It's like the
Oh,
Yes,
iron tea cake.
exactly.
Tea Cakes by Leonardo.
Yes, and maybe they didn't have iron tablets,
Yeah.
and she didn't want to be a vampire,
Yep.
or her neighbours didn't want to be. So
Yeah.
good
They tend to
chat.
buy
it's like
you
a
up
very
iron
dry
tablets.
version of a black pudding.
Oh,
You know, it's a different
Yes.
kind of black pudding.
Made
a sweet
from
one.
humans.
It's a sweet. That's a sweet.
It's a
black
sweet.
Yeah.
Oh,
pudding.
yum.
That's right.
It's a
Yum, yum, yum.
Anyway, so her third victim would be her last one. So Virginia
Ham?
Cacioppo was a noted soprano who once sang at the famed La Scala Opera House in Milan.
Milano,
She-
yeah.
Milano, eh? Cianciulli had promised her a job working with an impresario in Florence, which prompted Cacioppo to pay her a visit on September the 3rd, 1940.
What a fucking idiot!
Which one?
Like
the soprano?
the soprano. I mean, why
Some
would this
local bird told... Exactly.
Exactly. Why
What are
is
her
she
connections?
Exactly. How is she
Oh,
connected
we
to an impresario? I mean, what a fucking
know.
moron! Oh, sorry,
Virginia,
Paul.
you're a peanut. You're full of
You're an
peanuts, you know?
idiot. I'm not saying you deserve what you got, but Jesus, that's stupid. Sorry, go
I know,
on.
that is it.
Maybe she won her over with her tea cakes. Who knows?
Yeah.
As with her two previous victims, Cianciullo fed Cacioppo spiked wine and killed her with an axe. A good MO. It's working quite well. This
Well,
time,
it worked once. Keep going.
this time, however, instead of only baking her body into tea cakes and feeding them to her neighbours, Cianciulli also melted
Only.
her flesh down and turned it into soap. And this is
Well, you see, now this goes back to my point earlier, Paul. As you know, also have some operatic training. And I can tell you that sopranos of the olden days used to have a lot of, let's say, presence.
I think you're fat.
All right, they were fat. But
Yeah.
because,
You are allowed to say that, I think.
are you?
Fat.
Because, well, I was trying to be
you are.
polite. But because it's meant to increase the amount of resonance that you have when you're singing, right? So if you look at traditional opera singers, so this woman probably had the requisite amount of blubber to then be rendered down to make soap out of. Just saying.
none of what you're saying is
I
making
love
me
that.
any more
I love
comfortable
that.
with who you are.
The fact that you use the word rendered down to make soap makes me think that you size people up and go, if I had to look at her ratio-wise, I think she's got enough to render her down to make soap. She's got a good blubber content. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get two good cakes out of that one, but that one, whoa,
Yeah.
bring her over.
That's tea cake potential. That
and
there's soap.
That's my that's my Christmas gifts taken care of right there.
Sorted.
Soap for
What are we
everyone.
Correct.
What are we giving Nana for
Jesus.
Christmas? Well, Yes, soaps, blubber soap.
Oh. Let's put it into Chianchuli's words, who are really quite similar to yours, Schmitty. I don't even know why I'm bothering telling the story. So
Maybe I'm a reincarnation of her.
quite possibly. So Chianchuli said that Cacioppo ended up in the pot like the other two. Her flesh was fat and white. When it had melted down, I added a bottle of cologne, and after a long time on the boil, I was able to make some most acceptable creamy soap.
Most acceptable.
I gave bars to neighbours and acquaintances. The cakes too were better. That woman was really sweet.
Oh. That's just so wrong.
Note to self, if I ever get offered tea cakes by Schmitty, decline. And if I ever get a gift of soap by Schmitty, chuck it in the bin. Or have it DNA tested.
And if I ever say, Paul, you're really sweet, you should be scared.
Oh, run like the wind. Jesus. Anyway, so that's a nice little insight into where her mind was at. Let me tell you a little bit about her arrest and what then happened. So, Leonarda thought she'd committed the perfect murders, however, she could not have been more wrong. Unlike her first two victims, who had few concerned relatives, Cacioppo had a very worried sister-in-law. She didn't believe Cacioppo's letters detailing her quick departure and had, in fact, seen her entering Cianciulli's home the night she had left. Almost immediately, she reported her sister's disappearance to the Reggio Emilia police, who quickly investigated Cianciulli.
So this is the opera singer,
It's not
yeah?
going as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the opera
yeah,
singer's
correct.
sister wasn't fooled by the, what the fuck's that woman got connections with an empresario?
I know,
This is
Impresio. Yeah.
correct. She was a bit, more
Like
savvy.
you.
She's a bit more savvy.
I think she went a bit sort of
Which
over the
also
top with La
show-
Scala. Couldn't she have said, I know someone in the local village who's running something down at the town hall, and I was wondering if you'd be interested. That would be
Yes.
legitimate. I'd be like, yeah, maybe let's have a look into it. I can't promise you anything, but it's worth a shot. Oh, no. She's
Yeah.
gone straight to La Scala and gone, guess who I know? I mean, why did that woman...
The kind
I'd
of
be
gigs
suspicious
I was
too.
offered. The kind of
Yeah.
gigs I would offer. Can you go and sing at someone's wedding? Can you, I've got a gig for you. It's at a wedding. It's not at La Scala. It's at
No.
a wedding in the valley. No worries.
Yeah.
Much more
It
reasonable.
was on the 30th of September, so I feel like it could have been, could you come and sing at the AFL Grand Final?
Yeah,
That might have
Yeah,
been
that-
a little bit more credible.
I agree. Yes, much more
Or
credible.
mysterious, at least.
Yes, yes.
Anyway, rightio. So, at first, Leonarda Cianciulli defended herself. It was only when the police shifted the blame toward her beloved son Giuseppe that she finally broke down and admitted to everything.
Oh no, not Giuseppe. He innocent.
Oh, goodness me. So she admitted to everything. So her trial lasted only a few days. She was found guilty of her crimes and granted a 33-year sentence that echoed the Romani woman's prophecy with eerie accuracy. Can you remember the Romani woman's prophecy?
Yes, that she was something about going to jail and something about something else.
One hand
That was
and the
both
other.
bad on both
In your
both
in
hands.
your right hand, in your right hand I see prison.
Aha.
In your left, a criminal asylum. Her sentence, 30 years.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Well played. Her sentence, 30 years in a prison and 3 years in a criminal asylum.
I told you she was psychic.
Yes. I feel like, Schmitty, if you did something like, what's that family tree thing called?
Ancestry.com.
Ancestry.com.
That's
Correct.
it. if you did that, you might actually have a direct line back to Leonardo.
Well,
Cianciulli.
it's funny you should say that.
Yes.
No.
Because I've had a cookbook handed down from mama to mama
And
to
it's
mama, which
all
has
about
tea
soap.
cakes and soap in it.
Yeah. And it's got some smears on the outside, and people say don't touch it. It's probably caustic soda.
Yeah, nice. Jesus.
Oh. Helicopter, anyone?
Is that Giuseppe flying overhead?
He's coming from World War
Over
II.
my house.
All right.
I could hear it. It's like, oh my goodness.
Yes.
Off to
Right.
Oregon. Did it say anywhere in your reading that did they understand that she had killed more than one person, or did she just admit to everything? Did they know there were two others in addition to the soprano?
Yeah. Admitted to everything. Just
Spilled the beans.
fessed up.
Yeah.
I just wondered if they had realised that
Yeah.
you know, there
Like-
were more than one. There was one person that, like the investigators. That's
I
all.
think she was a psycho, frankly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the intern when the police were onto him. Remember
Yeah.
from
Diana!
Diana? They
Diana
yeah, they pulled him over and anyway.
crumbled.
Yeah, so she was God, what year are we talking now? I'm so
40
good with
something,
the
1940
facts.
something.
In 19 Yeah. So in 1970 she died of cerebral apoplexy, a type of hemorrhage, while she was still in the asylum. She was 79 years
Wow.
old. So she did her 30 years in prison, and then in the asylum she died. Her body was returned to her family for burial.
Is that just a stroke or not?
It's a type of hemorrhage. I don't know.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
A clotting issue, maybe.
Right.
I'm assuming a hemorrhage in the brain is a stroke, but
That's
I'm
what
no.
I'd call it. But all right.
Good soap
Yeah.
maker, though.
I
She's a
can,
very good soap maker.
can drink wine.
Can't talk about
deal
medical
with
stuff.
medical
That's right.
stuff. Yeah. So her body was returned to her family for burial, and of course they couldn't miss the opportunity to chop her into pieces, pop her in the pot, and make one last final round of tea cakes and soap.
That did not happen.
That did not happen. Correct.
That's
I just
right.
Thought it might. It might just be worth
Welcome home,
just
Mama.
suspending reality for a little bit. But her murder weapons, including the pot that her victims were boiled in, were donated to the Criminology Museum in Rome.
Gross.
To this day, museum visitors can see her collection of axes and peer inside the vat that she used to boil human beings.
Wait a minute. Her collection of axes. All this time I've just thought she just had a little hatchet or a little, an axe. She's not Catherine
Sharing
Knighting.
knife.
Did she hang them over her bed, her axes? Like Catherine Knight?
Quite possibly. Or maybe she just labelled them with the names of her victims.
Oh, God. As
Or
Carl
maybe
says. Oh,
maybe
God.
she used them to cut up the tea cakes.
Jeez, they were big cakes.
Fairly intimidating slicing the cake ceremony. But the story doesn't end there. In 1979, Lena Wertmuller, so we're now in, I'm assuming, Germany, could be Austria, could be anywhere other than any of those places, best known for her work on the infamous Italian film The Seduction of Mimi, produced the play Love and
Oh, that
Magic in
fussy.
Mama's Kitchen, which was based on the life of Leonardo Cianciulli. And it's a little bit of a circular thing coming back to you and The Sopranos, Schmitty. And in 1983, Love and Magic in Mama's Kitchen began a Broadway run, bringing Leonardo
my
Cianciulli from the
God.
secluded hills of Avellino to the Great White Way.
Oh, my giddy aunt. Have you got any numbers
There
from it?
you
Yes.
You do have numbers from it.
Ooh, I haven't, but I'm
Oh.
so glad you asked.
Oh, my
Let's go.
God.
Let's go in search of that gold. Why did I not think of that?
What on earth would be
Love
the lyrics?
And magic.
Not by Giuseppe,
in
he'd be innocent.
Mama's- Skinny chicks don't make good soap. Fat chicks taste so sweet. Jesus.
What's it called? Savant, I don't know.
Savon, yeah, Savon.
Savon.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Savon.
what's the, fat bottom girls make the rock and world go round. What would it be? Fat bottom girls, fat bottom opera singers make the soap world go round.
Make the soap really sweet.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, that wasn't. I don't think the soap was sweet. I think her tea cakes were sweet. I think she just.
I like big butts because they make good soap.
I like
Just-
big butts and I can't lie.
And I cannot lie. No, other mothers can't deny. I'm not sure, but there is a
When
thing
that soprano
on
came in with her
YouTube
bitty bitty
called
grin.
Mum.
When that soprano
We're all going to
came
hell.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah, we're going to hell for sure.
Oh, stop
Hell in a
it.
handbasket.
I just looked up the lyrics to Big Butts, and it's like, when that soprano walks in with an itty bitty waisted a round thing in your face, you get soap.
That is great. Yes, yes, exactly
Oh
that.
my god.
You get so.
Oh,
Get
far out.
I think it's a play. The reason we can't find anything, Paul, is it's a play. Sorry, it's, well, I misunderstood. I thought it was
Right.
a musical, but never mind. When you say Broadway,
Oh,
I
right.
only think of
Okay.
musicals.
I was disappointed in myself for not picking up on that, but I'm glad that
No, you've got it right. It's just a
maybe
play.
I read it
Well,
right.
Sorry, not just a play,
Okay.
but not a musical. Such a shame because I could just imagine the soprano coming in, delivering
Yeah.
this amazing song, then getting murdered, cut up, and cooked into soap. Yeah,
That's right.
gross.
That's
Exactly.
when a
And
soprano walks in with
I
an
would
itty
like
bitty
to
waist
see
and a
that.
round thing in your face, you get soap.
Get soap. I would love to also see the nervous look in the soprano who played in that play to see whether she was worried if afterwards she might end up as soap.
I want that. There's another lyric that you'll remember. You know the one about my anaconda don't want. Remember that? I need to find that one because I think.
What? None unless it's got big buns and a bit thing. That one?
Yeah, it's exactly. It makes it about tea cakes.
Yes.
But tea cake, unless it's got big tea cakes.
My anaconda don't want none unless it's got big tea cakes.
My anaconda don't want none unless you make tea cakes, hun.
Yes. Oh, goodness.
Always ends up in
so
some kind of
that's
musical moment, doesn't it? It's just a little
Yes.
sing along
Yes,
every
always.
week. Every week there's a little sing along.
Yeah. Yeah. So that
look forward to those.
there is the story of the soap maker. I think there's not a lot of picking your crime because I feel like the crimes are fairly obvious, but I think there's a lot of sentencing to be done. So, ladies, over to you.
All right, we hope you're enjoying our show. We'd love it if you would follow and like us on our Facebook page at Trial by Wine and share with all your family and friends. Help us get to 2,000 downloads by the 30th of January 2022 by giving us a 5-star rating as it helps spread the word. We can't thank you enough for your support. Now back to the show.
I've got so many questions, and I think none of them will be able to be answered. Because I
Schmitty
think
will
of the
answer them
crime
all.
being-
I'll give it a go. I'll do it my best.
Give it your best shot,
Oh,
Dale.
look, I don't think they're questions that can be answered, but I sort of think if it were a more modern crime, there'd be some analysis of it somewhere like, where was the rest of who did she live with? On her own? I mean, did everyone else just go, oh, don't mind mum, like, or she's out in the laundry making a bit of a mess again? I think if I was cutting up bodies, someone around here might notice.
Well, she
And
was
the
married.
smell!
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
and did she have it again?
Because
Oh, here we go. Schmitty knows. No smell.
Exactly. Yeah. You just ask. She'll tell.
I've got the image, and I don't know if I'm right, but I suspect this woman lived in some kind of even if it was a town, it would have been it's 1930s. It wouldn't have been a particularly sophisticated place, and I'm sure they had animals. I'm sure they did not fully agricultural work, but making your own soap. The fact she knew how to make soap wouldn't have been weird. Lots of people would have done
No.
that. There were lots of smelly things that people did in 1935. Like you might have boiled a pig's head and called it brawn and eaten it. You know, like stank like hell.
Yeah.
There are things that people
you're right.
did that stunk. So I'm not sure that the smell of fresh blood, which she could have washed away, would have been that bad. And even the smell of boiling it up in a pot, other people would have been I know, it's Nizhny Novgorod again. It stinks. The place stinks, right? We're back with Anthony Anatoly Moskvin and the stinky Nizhny.
Yes, the whole village stinks.
Stank, yeah. So maybe not the
Stinky
smell.
Europe.
Even some of the behaviours that she had, people may not have noticed, because if she was someone who would buy a large piece of meat, for instance, like half a cow, and butcher it, or like, I don't know what she did, but I can imagine that sort of stuff could have taken place, and so it wouldn't have been as odd as in, like today, if I killed Tony, someone will notice eventually. But yes, if I
Run,
if I killed
Tony, run.
He's laughing next to me. If I killed him
Uncomfortably.
and
You're
put him
laughing
in
now.
a pot and boiled him with caustic soda, people would complain about the smell now because it's unusual.
With all due respect, Tony, I don't think you'd make very good soap. You're way too lean.
No, I agree.
I don't think you'd render down well as Schmitty
I
says.
wouldn't even get a cake out of him, but he'd make good tea cakes. I
Tea
reckon his
cakes,
blood's
on the
good for
other
tea
hand,
cakes,
yeah, right.
He's sweet meat.
That's right, or at least one or two nice fat black puddings. Anyway.
Red velvet cupcakes.
I'm just wondering, like, what was it, 13 kids died? Did she have any involvement with them dying?
No, she had 4 left.
Yeah. 13
Yeah,
died.
that's a good question, Paul.
Yeah, no, I understand. There's nothing I could find that suggested that she had made tea cakes or soap out of her
Or
children.
murdered her children. No
That's
infanticide.
That's bad luck, even for 100 years ago. That's
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't think
'cause-
it was though. I don't think it's that unusual. This is why I've had this impression of her being not highly educated and living in a semi-rural, or, for want of a better expression, peasant world. Because the number of children she had, the life they had, suggests to me that, and I don't think it was unusual for women of the time to push out as many children as possible, hoping some survived.
I think peasant world sounds like part of our trial by wine world. Peasant
Oh.
world.
Yes, I think there could be an out.
Tomorrowland, there's peasant world.
And there is a thread that I'm going to pull out for this sentence.
Oh,
Thank
Mum,
you,
I want to
Carla.
go to peasant world. I want to go to peasant world. We'll get there after Tomorrowland.
Yeah, that's right. After it's a small world, we'll go and see
Peasant
Peasant
World.
World.
After all,
Oh, the frivolity.
On the lots of children, I think, just to be fair to people who may have less money than others, the New South Wales Premier, Dominic Perrottet, has apparently got 10 children, which I find remarkable for today's day and age. But I think if you take the financial situation out of it and overlay it with the religious thing, that does still happen for religious reasons sometimes. So,
True.
You know me, I love to chuck a bit of religious controversy in just to...
Yeah, but even medically at the time, there wasn't a great deal of prophylactic available. So, like, at that period of time.
they used to use cat's guts and stuff like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they worked particularly well, but you're right. That was actually against the Roman Catholic Church's ideas. So you weren't supposed to...
Correct.
You were meant to just have
At
babies.
all.
Babies all the time. Yeah.
As were people turning other people into soap. I'm assuming.
As many as
I'm
God will
assuming.
give
I haven't
us.
read the Bible, so I don't know, but I'm assuming that that's not okay.
No,
Thou
sorry.
shalt
So I
not turn thy neighbour into soap.
I just made a noise as if to suggest that it is in the Bible that it's fine to make people into soap, and
Yeah.
that's not what I was about. What I was about is whether or not everything the Roman Catholic Church tells people is a requirement to follow God is in the Bible. Just saying.
Love thy neighbour, but that fucker 3 doors down should be turned into soap.
Yeah. Or stone. Yeah.
Or stone.
Yes.
Or tea cakes.
Yeah, or begat or something. Is begat? That's a
Begat
big
is
word in the Bible,
sex,
isn't it?
It's having sex and having a child.
Yeah.
So she had to beget.
but
she had to beget 17 children. She begat.
Didn't she have to beget 17 times to give birth, or is begatting the process of giving
Having
birth?
sex.
No, begetting
Yeah.
is having the baby. It's not having sex.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Right. Good to know.
Yes. From
Yeah.
my
Thanks for the
extensive
clarification.
theology.
This podcast is super informative.
extensive
I think
begatting.
that they could replace the schooling curriculum with this
Oh,
podcast.
please no.
Just add another module to
Yeah.
your shamanism. What was it? Cert 4, Cert 3.
Yes.
Well, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Because
and basket weaving.
we need a couple of extra, because shamanism and this sort of occult behaviour that this woman is undertaking aren't that different. Well, they are a bit, but so we just add a bit of necromancy, a bit of human sacrifice for the purposes of, saving someone else or whatever, curses. Yeah, we've got a whole lot of other curriculum we need to devise. You're right, Carla.
But also just some really basic ones like baking
like
and soapery.
Correct, yeah. Soapery,
No.
it's a big one.
Yeah.
It's a real skills gap. It's a real skills gap.
There must
Soapery
be a
is
name
like
for making
topiary.
soap. I thought there's a name for it if you make soap. Like it's.
Soap making?
Well, I can't find it. I don't know what I'm thinking of.
Soap up, mofo.
Soaping?
No, that's not it. No, because there's so many little
That's
places
not it.
near where we lived in the south of France where like a lot of it had to do with perfumery and stuff, and obviously little soaps. And then in Marseille,
Yeah.
it's like a specialist sort of. That's one of their product is the soap of Marseille. So you used to buy a lot of that, but I thought it had a name, but it's escaping me. Maybe it's a French term.
Soapery. It's probably soapery.
Quite possibly.
Quite
Okay.
unlikely. Also.
Again, more like.
Anyway, so back to excellent chat. But back to the sentencing. Who would like to go first?
Never me.
Can I get all the questions out of the way?
Never.
I don't think there's any point even asking all my questions. There's so many of them. But I think because of the time that it happened, a lot of it was like with Tony. It's like, well, where did all the kids go? I mean, I guess you would have lost some. Schmitty's telling us, is painting a picture of European life in that day and age. Anyone guess where her dad's from? It's like, oh, yes. She's had it
Not
first
Italy.
hand. She knows.
Not Italy, but
No,
Europe.
I know. But Europe, your dad was sort of melting people's body parts down in the to make soap and cakes.
My father was very sophisticated. He was melting bodies down in Budapest. It was very cosmopolitan.
Exactly.
Where he melted bodies.
Yes.
Schmitty, the grand captain would have been doing that at Lake Eildon.
Oh, yeah. If he'd had the opportunity, you're quite right.
With a bottle of
And he
guava.
needed the
Or-
soap. But, he was... Maybe that's why Dad wasn't that partial to soap. And he didn't like cologne either. Anyway.
He knew where it
Ah.
came.
Yeah, he knew what it was made
Now-
of.
The plot thickens.
So bells ring for
Is
you
it-
now.
Do you want me to start with the sentencing
It
just to
could
get
help.
the juices
It could
flowing?
help, please. Yes.
Yes,
thank you.
please.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got a couple in mind. The first one, so Carla, you always say you want to put the punishment where the criminal will feel it the most.
Yes.
And I'm going to come back to TikTok, and this is probably the second time I've mentioned TikTok. I don't have TikTok. I don't even know how it would fit into my life, but people keep telling me about it. And I also have a nephew he's really my cousin, but we call him my nephew. He posts things on Facebook.
As long as
and
he's
there's
not your brother or
it's
your
like this
father as well.
Yeah, exactly right. He could be. Who knows? In my family, you have it's like a face changing thing, so that
A filter?
you can put the face of somebody onto another
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
body
Face
a
swap.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A deep fake. Is that this deep fake thing or is that something else? That's something else, is it?
I
Have
don't
you heard
know
about a
what that
deep
is.
fake?
I
Oh, deep
couldn't
fake
tell
is
you.
something where they do use somebody else's body and then they'll put somebody else's face on it. Usually somebody who, it might have been Trump or Biden or whatever else, and it does actually look like them. They're called deep fakes and they're incredibly convincing where they've
Right.
actually used their face and put it onto someone's body and, they're doing something.
Yeah. So
No
it's
idea.
if I don't know if that's what I'm talking about, but it's exactly that
Having
kind of
sex
concept,
with a
right?
pig
So I
or
think
something.
that
Correct. That kind of, Oh, that kind of hijinks.
That is
yes.
That kind of tomfoolery. Yes.
Paul's horseplay and skullduggery.
Horseplay and tomfoolery. That's it.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Sorry, Paul.
Wow.
Please go on.
No, I feel like I'm the one who's now getting your sentencing juices flowing, and you're going to come back with some crackers. So it's very good. But anyway, so the point of that was that I think that we could show Chuli footage of her son dying over and over in multiple different ways, because we're putting
It's a deep fake.
We're putting his
Because
face
it's not
on
his fault.
other-
Yeah, good. Yeah. Good. Got it.
Yeah. So she's going to be super traumatized by the fact that she's seeing her son dying over and over in different ways, and the fact that it's different ways will also mess with her head, because she won't know if any of it's true, but she'll probably also assume that all of it is true. So that was one punishment that I had for her, and the other one was
It's a very modern version
around.
of a punishment.
Well, yes, but it's trial by wine. There has to
I
be
like it. Don't get me wrong.
It does not have to be fact. Yeah. Let's not
It's
give
just
her a
kinda
middle
like
ages
a-
punishment or
No, it's
a.
sort of like I don't know what's it called, like not a hologram, but like a vision that she's seeing that's repeated over and over.
A TikTok
Yeah.
thing. Just call it TikTok. I don't know how it works. I've just seen it happen.
It's a TikTok
also-
thing. Woo!
Yeah.
Sit down with the
Also
kids,
in also in trial by wine world, there does need to be some food vans or snack carts or whatever. So she could be made to eat food that looks delicious, tastes sweet, but is also made from
Caustic
human
soda.
remains.
Oh.
Yeah. There's another one that has been floating in the back of my head, but now I've lost it. So I think I'm going to have to hand over to you two.
Yeah, I'm still working on this idea of peasant land. What did I call it? Peasant world? Peasant land?
Yes.
Peasant world.
Peasant world.
Which is a segment of
Peasant-
Trial by Wine World, is that right?
Yeah.
You know when you go, can't you see it on the map? It just envisions the map of.
Yes.
any
Welcome
theme
to
park.
Trial by Wine World.
And then Trial by Wine World.
Why are you doing a little dance? What's that about?
I'm off to peasant. I'm off to peasant world.
But
It's to March. I'm off to peasant world. It's going to be a great
I'm
time.
off to peasant world. Oh, we're going to cut up meat. We're going to do our own. We're going to get a carcass.
We're
cut
gonna
up in
have
our backyard.
high iron tea
It's going to
cakes.
stink. Iron tea cakes. Oh my goodness.
All right, so I'll have a go. And this has been a real tough one. So kudos to you, Clarkie, for providing a challenge on the sentencing. Well, the whole case is a bit whack and also hard to sentence. But I think I'm going to create, and we will, I'm sure, explore this further at some other time, Peasant World. But in Peasant World, $17.49 or however much you said that you managed to fraudulently take from people really doesn't go very far. In fact, it doesn't even buy
Unless
you-
it does in peasant world.
Hang
it
on,
might.
yeah,
In peasant world,
that's
it might
why
go
it's-
away.
in a
No, it doesn't.
to
That's
quote
the point.
ABBA, in a
Pes-
rich
in-
man's world, it will go very, very short distance. Peasant world.
No, Peasant
In
World.
peasant world, you get your merch at the gift shop at the end. $17 will get you a whole lot. You get your
Tea
Peasant world
cakes
merch.
and soap.
Peasant World's one of those places that you go back into some kind of ye olde 1920s world, 1930s world, but the current value of money is equivalent to today's, therefore $17 doesn't get you very far. So that's a torture in its own right, because she can't even go and buy herself a hot dog and a Diet Coke for $17, so that's already upsetting.
Let alone attend any of the rides.
yeah.
I'm also not sure whether she used the soap that she made. So I'm banning her from having soap.
Ever.
In fact, okay, I've worked it out. I've had
Epiphany.
an epiphany.
So she can't wash.
Oh my god, psychic! Not just she can't wash. Have you seen The Princess Bride?
No.
Oh, no.
Honestly, no.
Carla,
Okay,
you're
so this is the
our
moment.
you're our pop culture
Right.
guru.
I'm aware of it, but I've never watched it.
Shame on you. Can you go and watch it, please?
Isn't it like a cultural kind of important sort of thing? Sorry, Schmidt.
It is. It's a cult classic. They call them a cult
know.
classic.
That's a cult classic. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's a peasant's
And for
fave.
those who didn't, for our listeners who can't see what I just did, my whole forehead hit the pop filter like I was extremely frustrated with my co-host at not knowing this show.
Well,
Anyway,
that's odd.
at the end of it, I know. At the end of it,
Bottle 2, done.
Carrie Yules' character, who plays Wesley, my sweet Wesley, is incapable of moving, and the nasty prince doesn't know that because he's, a long story. Watch the film. You should watch it. Anyway, he is threatening the prince, and he's saying, you need to go away because you're a little pustule or things like that. But then he says, I'm going to cut off your nose and your lips and your eyebrows and your fingers, and you will just be this,
Oh.
but I'm going to let you live. I'm going to let you live. And so that every child, every person who sees you, looks at you and shrieks from the hideousness. I'm completely paraphrasing for the Princess Bride people out there who are going to tell me off for this, okay? Because I've already had 2 cans of very, very bad drink, and so I'm doing my best. But anyway, the point is, she will go through this treatment where she will just be seen in peasant world, as the kind of raggy person who doesn't wash because she's not allowed soap because we don't know who it's been made of. So she doesn't use soap. She's very deformed as a result of this torture, and everyone is horrified at the sight of her because that is representative of what's inside her.
Oh.
Sentence 1.
Oh.
Sentence 1.
Oh.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. Sentence 2. I'm going to do a Doctor Who timey-wimey thing and swap her out with her son and send her to war.
No, that was mine.
Oh!
It's close, but I was thinking, even if you didn't send her to war, but he went to war and he died. Even though she had done, or hadn't done it. And I was like,
You're
there you
cruel.
go.
Oh my God! This is.
And I know that's awful, and it's so simple, and it's like Meccano's,
Oh.
and he dies.
Absolutely right.
But
So
also,
There you go.
she killed 3 people for nothing. Guy dies anyway.
Yeah, and he goes to war,
But the
dies.
funniest thing about that,
What?
Carla, is your face, because you're like, I'm gonna have sleepless nights about being this cruel person.
I know I'm a bad person
you're
because
not.
I've let the boy die at war. Anyway, but
He didn't
I
die.
was like,
He didn't die.
how'd that work for you, love? Boom, he's gone.
There is a poetic justice in that, because, well, obviously, but also, if she honestly thought that killing these people was going to keep him safe, that would be, you're right, that would
Yeah.
be
Because that's
the
it.
harshest. You're right.
Because
that
that's
would
why
be the
that was her
harshest
motivation.
sentencing, yeah. But do you
No.
think she had any
I
remorse?
I think because she was I think she was a
don't
nut job,
feel
clearly.
she
but
had
I
any
think
remorse
maybe
for
if
it,
we take that a step further, and what if he did
Yes,
actually
I think that's it,
survive
no.
the whole war because of her human sacrifices, but then he was killed in front of her as punishment for the sacrifices that she'd made to keep him alive? That would mess with her head a lot.
Maybe because this is our episode number 13. Carla's dark side finally came
I
out.
know.
Oh, don't
right?
say that.
She's-
I feel like, no, oh
This-
God,
Go on,
people will
Carla.
judge me.
It's an
No, yeah,
evolution.
we
No, I
all
have nothing more to
judge
say.
you.
I've managed to kill him now. Are you happy?
Ouch. I don't know if I'm happy, but I am surprised. You've brought your A game in trial and sentencing today. Well done.
I'll go back to my softly sentencing next week.
No. Leave
I
that
don't know
behind
why.
you.
It's fictitious. It's just all it's japes.
I know,
it's just
but
japes.
It's japes. Great word.
What's-
Great word.
What is japes?
Japes, jokes.
Japes.
Oh,
Good
jokes.
times, fun times, jokes.
Ye
japes.
oldie jokes.
Ye olde peasant world would understand what japes were.
Right.
Oh, I don't know actually. Maybe it's a little bit up. Maybe it's a little bit more highbrow japes. I think. Maybe if we're like at Downton Abbey, we'd be having some japes.
Oh,
Sure, they would.
Whereas I don't know if it'd be.
Is it like
Yeah, I don't
if
know.
you're in Downton Abbey
Yeah, it could
and
be
you've
right.
got your friend who served you tea cakes
It's
made
tomfoolery
up from
for sure,
other
isn't it?
people, they all go, "Oh, that's japes."
It's a practical joke.
It's-
A childish jape of depositing a stink bomb in her locker.
Oh,
To say or do something in jest or mockery.
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
So it doesn't say that it's highbrow, so maybe it is. We can have it in peasant world a little bit of. Oh,
Bring it on.
I feel like
Hygiene.
I feel like it's existed in the English language for a long time.
you're on your own, sweetheart. We love you, but you're on your own.
I've been on my
so
own the whole way
Michael
through
Bolton.
this episode.
Oh well,
That is really.
you have
Oh my
isolated
God.
yourself through this whole episode. So the other bit that I was thinking of is that in Italy, like sharing food is it's a really lovely part of the culture. So you know they make pasta and whatever, and they share it. And I feel like old mate Cianciulu was sharing her tea cakes and her soap with her neighbours, which is kind of nice, except for
Beautiful.
what was being made, what they were made from. But I feel like she should be cut off from having any food or any of that sharing culture that Italy does so well. She should be shut off from, to just say, you know what, sweetheart, you're on your own. You've got to make your own everything
In your own stink.
in your
Do you
own
think if she
state.
has to make her own everything, she might make her own everything of everything she could get her hands on, which might be the neighbours?
Well, they're all onto her now, so
What,
I
in
feel
prison?
like no one's going to her house.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, no one's going to your house. We don't like you anymore. You can't sit here. You can't sit here.
And you make
You make shit cakes.
which are actually blood cakes.
Yes.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
No,
rock cakes.
no pasta for you. 1 month. Just the whole town cuts her
Okay,
off.
well, I think that we have got to a point where Carla has come out of her shell. Do the song
good
again, the
song.
Anaconda song, because I don't know it.
Then a soprano walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face. You got soap.
That is gold.
My anaconda don't want none unless you got Tea Cakes Hun.
Yes, we have a musical interlude. We have soap made from a soprano. We have Carla coming out of her shell at episode 13. Excellent job, Paul. I have terrified you all about my insight into the obvious choice of what one would do when one wants to save one's son from, you know, the ravages of war and peasant world. So, excellent job. Thank you. Anyone got any roundup comments?
No, just well played, everyone. Love you long time. Great job.
Thank you very much, and I miss you already. Good job.
Bye, well
Ciao,
done.
ciao.
Bye.
Ciao,
Ciao
bella.
for now.
Ciao,
Bye now.
Bella. Come stai oggi? Thanks for listening to Trial by Wine. You can contact us at trialbywine@gmail.com. Please rate, review, and subscribe to Trial by Wine on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. If you'd like to support us, you can become a patron at www.patreon.com, Trial by Wine, or visit our website www.trialbywine.com to donate to us. Your support will help us cover many more cases and apply wacky sentences. We really appreciate you listening and hope you tell everyone about us. Our cover art is by John Christo and music is by Beauchamp from pixabay.com.